Beneath the crashing waves of myth and memory lies a story that refuses to sink. A city of immense power, beauty, and knowledge destroyed in a single day and night. A forgotten civilization swallowed by the sea, and with it, perhaps, the blueprint of a world before time as we know it. This is the legend of Atlantis, a name that stirs the imagination, ignites the spirit of exploration, and haunts the fringes of science and storytelling alike. But was Atlantis ever real? For over 2,000 years, philosophers, explorers, scientists, and dreamers have chased the shadow of this sunken kingdom. From the ancient libraries of Alexandria to the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, from the volcanic ruins of the Mediterranean to satellite scans of the Sahara Desert, the search continues. Is Atlantis a cautionary tale of pride and collapse, as Plato intended? Or could it be the distorted memory of a real civilization, lost to the chaos of ancient cataclysm? Could it be both a blend of truth and fiction, preserved in oral tradition until it surfaced in Greek philosophy? The story begins with a man whose words would shape the course of Western thought, Plato, the philosopher. In his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE, Plato describes Atlantis as an island nation greater in size than Libya and Asia combined, located beyond the Pillars of Heracles, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. It was a utopia of harmony and strength, rich in resources, technology, and spiritual depth. And then it was gone. A sudden catastrophe, a punishment from the gods for their growing arrogance, submerged the entire civilization beneath the sea. Plato claimed it happened 9,000 years before his time. He was clear, confident, and specific. To many, this is where the myth begins. But to others, it's where a deeper truth hides a riddle veiled in allegory. Over the centuries, Atlantis has transformed. It has been claimed by mystics and nationalists, co-opted by pseudo-historians and conspiracy theorists. Yet despite the sensationalism, a serious question persists at the core. Could there have been a forgotten chapter in human history, erased not just by time, but by the sea? Ancient texts across cultures speak of floods and vanished lands, from the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh to the biblical deluge, to stories passed down by the Hopi, the Maori, and the Tamil. Cataclysm and rebirth, collapse and rediscovery. Perhaps Atlantis is not a singular event, but a symbol of something that once was, or something we fear might be again. As archaeology advances and forgotten civilizations come to light, the boundary between myth and memory becomes less clear. The jungles of Cambodia once hid the vast cityscape of Angkor Wat. The sands of the Middle East concealed the monumental pillars of Göbekli Tepe, a temple older than Stonehenge and the pyramids. What else lies beneath in the ocean depths, or buried under our assumptions? This documentary is not a hunt for lost treasure. It is a journey through time, across disciplines, and into the heart of one of humanity's greatest legends. We will follow the trail of clues left in Plato's words, examine historical and geological evidence, explore global parallels, and confront the question, if Atlantis ever existed, where and what was it? In the segments ahead, we will trace the historical origin of the Atlantis myth and its philosophical purpose. We will examine ancient geography, architecture, and the possible identities of real-world civilizations that match the Atlantis profile. We'll dive into competing theories of collapse, from earthquakes and tsunamis to comet impacts and pole shifts. We will look at modern research, including underwater archaeology and controversial discoveries that keep the debate alive. And finally, we'll consider the legacy of Atlantis, how it has shaped literature, science, conspiracy, and the collective psyche. The lost city is more than just a place. It is a question, a challenge to our understanding of the past. A whisper from a time before written history, daring us to remember what might have been forgotten. Whether truth or parable, Atlantis remains an enduring mirror, reflecting not just the past, but our hopes, fears, and the limits of human knowledge? What if the myth is memory? What if memory is history? And what if history is deeper than we ever imagined? Let us begin.